are the people that are poor, and they are continuously poor now. Within these 3 weeks, they have been closed down. Those persons who hawk second-hand clothes are the poor people IMF are talking about. And you are not helping them.
All right,
you
Mr.
are not
Bright.
even allowing them to excel. If we continue with that attitude, with this kind of attitude that is happening in Rivers State and so many other states, what is Bayelsa State doing? What is Akwa Ibom doing? What is Imo State doing? What is Abia State doing? Those of us close to this place, virtually nothing. So if we continue like this, the prediction of IMF will come true.
All right.
As a result of the people like Lawson mentioned now. But the administration has put a lot of effort. But do the components, federating units in Nigeria know that they are also holders of the economy and has to do something for the economy to excel? Does River State, as we speak now, do they have an economic council that advises the government on how to do to elevate and improve on River State economy?
All right, thank you. Thank you very much.
If we continue like this, IMF prediction will come to that. If we come up and then decide to do something, IMF
then there might be a change. All right, thank you. Thank you very much. I think that was very insightful, a lot of things that he had mentioned. The lack of collaboration and economic blueprint shared between state government and federal government, understanding the dire situation that the economy of Nigeria is in at this point in time. All right, lost that call. Let's move on to the next person. 95.1 FM. Good afternoon.
Hello, Lady World.
Good afternoon, Mr. John.
Yes, my senior colleague have said it all. You see, when we talk of the country, Nigeria, most times we tend to focus our attention so much on the federal government. But we forget that Nigeria is made up of 36 states. That's what makes up Nigeria. If all the states are progressing, definitely what it means is that Nigeria is progressing. So, but when the 36 states are not doing anything, that means poverty will continue.
But focus has always been on the fact that certain things or resources that states could harness on them or by themselves are not given authority by the federal government.
Oh, you see, one problem we talk about things that doesn't exist. What about the one you have gotten, the one at hand, the one that you have at hand? What are you doing with it? With these state governors, they have internally generated revenue. They get federal allocation, and the federal allocation have not reduced. Even with the recession, they are still coming the way they come before, and they get a lot of incentive apart from the 13% derivation and all that. So all these things, what are we doing with them? Look at Rivers State, just as Mr. Bright pointed out. I have not seen any economic policy in Rivers State. Every day we keep hearing of agriculture in the budget. Agriculture came in the budget last year. Agriculture is in the budget of Rivers State this year. But wealth, can you show us any Rivers State agricultural scheme ongoing in Rivers State? Nothing. How could we come out of poverty?
All right then. All right.
With such attitude. You know, our leaders are not trying. And when we try to focus on federal government, it's just diverting attention. The states are the real problem. In fact, the state governors are failures, big-time failures. And they are not admitting to it. What they do is to deceive the citizens, turn their attention to the federal government, whereas them are smiling to the bank. It's very unfortunate. And if we continue like this, you keep blaming the federal government, but your state governors are smiling to the bank. And
all right, Mr. John. Thank you. Thank you very much. Lack of collaboration with state government and federal government, sharing the same ideals or blueprints that could actually lift 100 million. Because I'm thinking that it's not just the one tier of government kind of thing. And if in the end of the day, this particular dream does not flourish or come to fruition, who do we blame? We can't really blame the administration that didn't reach it. I think the blame should be shared amongst all of them, because if the federal government say their plan is to elevate 100 million Nigerians, they should at least get the support and brainstorming of state governments within the country as well, so that they can all work towards achieving alleviating 100 million Nigerians. But that's not the case anyway. But let's keep the calls coming in. Do you think that the World Bank projection of more Nigerians plunging into poverty will come to fruition come 2022? Or you think that this administration will be able to scale through? 95.1 FM.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
This is Chief Khan calling from Upako.
You're welcome.
Hello?
Please go on.
Yes, concerning the lifting of 100 million Nigerians out of poverty, or Nigeria receding into 100 million Nigerians going into poverty. The only way out is for the states to support the federal government. The federal government cannot do it alone. The states are receiving allocations from the federal government, and they are 13% derivation. Okay, now there should be an agricultural policy in the state. That is the only way they can support the citizens to grow. Like in Rivers, the last time when there was this NSAS riot, vehicles conveying onions into Rivers State were blocked on the road. Because of that, there was no onions in Rivers State. You cannot have onions to buy. But if the government can invest into the citizens of the state to at least start producing onions, other food items, it will go a long way to lift people out of poverty.
All right.
But,
oh dear, lost you there. Please do well to call back if you can. 95.1 FM.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I'm Chima, calling from Port Harcourt.
You are welcome.
Yes, well, is it IMF projection? Yes, well, for us to get out of it, that projection, where there has to be so many collaborations, political collaboration from the state to the federal. There has to be a political collaboration. Because with what we are seeing now, sometimes states antagonize federal government policies on a particular issue. That has to be laid aside for this not to happen. You understand? Now, coming to electric power supply we have in Nigeria, you understand? That one is on one side, which actually would have, many Nigerians are very technical, so to say.
And they need power.
And they need power to be able to do some one or two things that can aid them. That aside also, them talking about fiscal management, prudent management, we have not seen it. So with what we are seeing, that projection might actually come to pass. You understand? So it is clear. Because the current administration has the rid of economic ideas how to get Nigeria out of poverty. Even the diversification that they came to as their mantra during their campaign 2014, it was just mere lip service.
But with diversification of the economy, as we said, it's not a matter of just the federal government. Local governments can also encourage farming and agricultural production in large scale as well. State governments can do the same thing, and the federal government on the federal level can also support that particular scheme. And before you know it, we see a three-tier of government development on that sector, and then we're diversifying.
Yes, well, I mentioned political collaboration. You understand when you heard me? So that when federal government came up with this policy, every state or every local government follow suit. You understand? Now, with the situation of things now, the political victory between the states, some local governments, and the federal government, with the two protecting political party we have, now, well, it is very difficult.
All right,
we might be heading to the projection of the IMF. You understand? So until that is done, collaboration, then giving incentives to work. Honestly, I pray, you understand, that we get out of it. Because we have so many of our industries that are still lying in comatose. You understand? In River State here, many industries that was responsible by past administration of Rotimi Ameti, they are lying in comatose. Them on the Ajokuta Sea Company that we have in Nigeria, is still lying in comatose. So all these things can make the projection of IMF come to pass.
All right. Thank you for your contribution. Let's listen to the next person and what solutions you have. 95.1 FM.
Good afternoon once again. Emeka from Owerri.
You're welcome, Emeka.
You see, the reality of recession, I don't know, I mean, the Port Harcourt is from over here. Every market you visit here, everything is toppling per second basis.
I mean, commodities are seeing increases every day.
Commodities are increasing Just every day, per second. You go in the afternoon, you buy something for 5 naira. You go in the evening, you bought it for 6 naira. The next day, you bought it for 7. I'm telling you what is on ground. Yeah, you know whether. I don't know whether it's something import. You see, my concern is this. The damage this government has created to the economy of this country. I pity any upcoming government, whether a president will take over, because...
But Emeka, do you think that the damage is singularly caused by the federal government? Understanding as well that the state government also have a role to play, the local government also have a role to play in this economic development stride that we're about to take.
See, my sister, let me tell you one thing. When some of us talk of structure of this country, some people don't know, they say structure of mind. When the government come and close borders all over the nation, is it the state government that close borders?
But did your state government put in schemes that can help production grow within the state? It's also another question. We shouldn't focus on what the federal government had done alone. What has state government done to ameliorate the plight of the people within the state?
The state have little based on structure. See, what is killing us is not even from the state. What the economic problem we have is the managers of the federal economic team.
That's what you think?
The issue of border closure. You know the negative impact in Nigeria as we are
okay
now?
So Emeka, let's say the federal government partially closed the border and decides that we're closing the border away from the fact that contraband comes into the country. We also want to up production within the country as well, isn't it? Now, don't you think that state governments could have keyed into that opportunity that should have been created by the closure of the border and see how they can develop or increase production or manufacturing of whatever commodities are within their own jurisdictional use and power in the state?
Let me tell you, my sister. The bottom answer to this question is a matter of economics.
All right.
What was the magic other government, Obasanjo, Yar'Adua, and Goodluck? What was the magic that Nigeria was not aware?
They didn't have the COVID-19 and the drop in crude oil prices. But anyway, thank you. Thank you very much, Emeka. Thank you. Let's move on and listen to the next person. 95.1 FM.
We have to well, this Moses on the line.
You're welcome.
I think, for me, that we don't like the resources. We just like the political way to get things done. China was once a poor country, but then they mustered the political courage, you know.
And there's so many other countries with same stories.
And India, they mustered the political way to get everybody to do something. But how about Nigeria? The system here does not encourage, talk about people who are doing businesses. Can you access loan? Talk about the system. Is the system favorable for people to do business? Talk about people who are graduates. There is that discrepancy. You didn't study in Nigeria, so and so, you don't know so and so person. Different categories of challenges that we have. And then talk about politicians. Why I say that it's a political way. Nigerian people, we pay attention to politics more than we pay attention to development. And I see danger brewing. The more people, the Nigerian politicians keep taking everything as political, rather than tell the people the truth. Oh, look at what we are doing. Look at how the challenges we are facing. They will come out and tell you that in the next 20 years we are going to do so and so, which is they are going to leave 100 million Nigerians from poverty. Do they have crane? What is the plan? What plans are on ground? Like other people have mentioned, the system is not favorable. The political will is they don't have the political will. They lack the political will to make things happen.
All right.
For instance, I have what seems like a stupid idea. The Lagos state government, they generate money from the toll gate and the rest of that. What do they do with it? We've heard about the Abacha loot. If we don't like the money, we don't like the resources. We just that we play politics with everything, and I see danger brewing because of that. Thank you.
All right. Thank you as well for your contribution. Keep your text messages or WhatsApp messages coming in for this particular topic. What do you make of the projection of the World Bank? Do you think that state government, federal government will be able to at least actualize the goal of lifting 100 million Nigerians in 10 years, understanding all of the limitations and political play that comes in whenever we talk about Nigeria and things that concern the nation? Keep your messages coming in to the number 0701 9339 962. Phone calls to the number 0701 000951 95.1 FM.
Yeah, wait, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. You're welcome.
Yeah. You see, there is something that one adage in our local dialect that saying, it's not when they cut that it's right. You think that this recession they are getting now that Nigeria are going into, you think that it started today? It started today. I know when this country, we are feeding well, and I know when people started complaining. Let me ask you something. It's not to pack politicians into your administration. Among the administration of this President Muhammadu Buhari, how many of his cabinet are economists that know what it takes to remove people from poverty? It's not to ask people to come, let me give you political appointments. What is their job? What did they study in school? You know your journalism work very well. People that are working with Mr. President, is it their job or is their party person come and just sit down there at the end, you receive your salary?
So you feel the administration is not bringing in people who are technocrats or economically inclined?
Listen, I am telling you, during good luck, Jonathan, you see how things are moving well. Even if we fall inside slightly mistake, within 2 days they will come out. But this one, do you know that we are still in a recession? All these what they are telling you, this is and that. How much is all these things in the market? We do go to market and buy something now. We do make things of this. And we see this is administration. Let me tell you, they don't have anything to offer.
That's entirely your opinion.
Man have put this administration into coma. Before they will come out from this, what this Mr. President have put us, it will get to 20 years. It's not they are acknowledging it. When I was telling them since 2012 that this might not have anything to offer, they think that I'm playing politics.
All right, Chris. All right, Chris. Thank you. Thank you for your contribution.
You will destroy this economy.
Okay. I'm having problem trying to move on to the next caller. Okay, finally. 95.1 FM.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. What's your name and where you're calling from?
Yes, I'm just calling from Obi.
You're welcome.
Yes, you made mention of state government and the federal government, but I want you to know that the policy in Nigeria today is made by the federal government. And the state government has nothing to do because, one, power in the country, this electricity is from the federal government, port authority, everything is being controlled by the federal government. And
we cannot say that the state government have nothing to do. If not, why do they receive allocations? If not, why do they get derivative funds from oil and some other revenue sources that they make within the state? The state government is supposed to be working in collaboration with the federal government because that's how it works.
Okay, listen to me now. Like as I was telling you that the federal government, now if you want to register your company, you go to this corporate affairs, and it is controlled by the federal government, which might not allow so many people to register their company to prove.
No, that's not true. That's not true. Companies are being registered as long as you're eligible enough. Companies are being registered. Let's not say that.
Listen to me.
I'm listening to you and I'm trying to correct you as well.
The company in Nigeria today is being monopolized. They don't allow another person to produce cement in Nigeria. Only one person now cement is about 5,000 naira a bag.
Have you tried to produce cement and somebody shut you down?
Listen to me.
I am listening. That's why I'm asking you these questions.
When Yar'Adua was the president of this country, he gave many people license to bring cement into Nigeria, and this Dangote started shouting that they are putting the company into danger. And this is why
I think I see where your sentiments are coming in from, but thank you very much. Thank you very much. Oh dear, we have to go pay some bills in the next 1 minute, so I will try as much as I can to read some messages as I promised. This one says, well, some cabals have looted money from oil wells and dragged us into poverty. Go to Bonny Island every day, vessels are loading. That money is enough to fight poverty. The money from one oil well is more than the expected World Bank loan. Nigeria is too rich. Nawayo people. And that's coming from JJ. This one says, well, understand that Nigeria is running centralized system of government. So federal economic policies drives the state policy. Federal government have no blueprints to diversify economy. That's entirely your opinion. Okay. This one says, what's stopping the River State government from exploiting the palm oil sector in the state? The banana plantation or Buguma fish farm has been destroyed. The plantain economy can fetch this state billions yearly, but all this sector have been untapped because of oil money. President Buhari and Governor Nyesom Wike have failed woefully. In a normal situation, they are not fit to occupy those offices they are occupying now, and that's coming from Relish. This one says, hello, poverty will rise because of government denying retirees. Okay, this one says, well, you don't need a prophet to know that the IMF, no, it wasn't the IMF this time around, it was the World Bank projecting, okay, say projection will come to pass. We are oil dependent economy and oil is becoming valueless. We are owing more than we get. And this one says, well, does this mean, okay, no. This question I cannot read aloud. Let's check what we have quickly on the WhatsApp portal. This one says, wealth. The truth of the matter is that our Nigerian structure makes it very difficult and almost impossible to do legitimate business and survive. The structure encourages criminality, shortcuts, etc. So many challenges in doing business here. Yes, we want foreign investors to come in. I don't see anything changing positively for us as a nation. I hate to sound negative, but I think the prediction of the World Bank will come true, and that's coming from Emmanuel. This one says, most of the state governors, especially the governors of Niger Delta states, are comfortable doing nothing while the citizens derive joy from blaming Buhari. The federal government is not holding or stopping any state from making their own individual and economic policies. Those saying that under Jonathan that things were going well, can you ask them to list one of the states? Okay, one of the things states were producing under Jonathan. China closed their borders for long until everyone knows the importance of producing locally. And that's coming from Vili DK. Thank you very much for that message. This one says, my sister, nothing to show that this present administration will remove poverty in our faces. Most businesses are gradually closing down because of lack of funds to carry out with their businesses. So I don't know how this present administration will apply their magic to wipe away poverty in the next years to come. Promise without implementation is what is eating us in Nigeria. We have numerous policies in Nigeria that is not visible. We have a long way to go in Nigeria, and that's coming from Thank God Atwebo. And as I said, we have to go pay some bills, and that's how we close the curtains for the second half of the show. It has been an amazing show. Thank you so much for your calls and text messages. Without those, this show would have been useless, but then it wasn't. Thank you so much. It was Wealth Wilson here. Do stay tuned. After the advert, we will be having today's Spotlight. Stay tuned once again.
Talk radio. I listen to a lot of talk radio.
95.1 FM.
Hello, everyone. My name is Madam Olaiton, a representative of Everyday Income School. Everyday Income School is an online school that is designed to show people how to make multiple streams of income, especially from their phones. As we all know, our country is now in recession. So this is the time for every wise person to have another plan that you can use to make cool money by the side every day, which is why I am here today to reveal a secret on how you can generate everyday income using your mobile phone. This training is for those who have good phones, because we all know that everything has gone digital. It is for you if you are a student, if you are a worker, a salary earner, a laborer, a full housewife, whosoever you are within the society. As long as you have a good Android phone, you can participate in this training. We are going to show you a simple way to generate everyday income by yourself through your mobile phones, and you can start with as low as 2,000 naira to begin the business. Yes, 2,000 naira to begin the business, and you will achieve 300% of whatsoever you use as capital in 60 days. You heard me correctly. If you use 2,000 naira to begin this business, you can achieve 300% turnover of whatsoever you use as capital in 60 days. And again, you don't need to invite anyone before you get paid. It is possible for you to also withdraw this money. That is the money you make from your local bank daily. If you start this business today, you will get paid today, and you can withdraw the profits you have made today from your bank instantly. By the way, you don't need to give us money to invest for you. We will teach you and guide you on how to achieve this. This training is coming up on Sunday on WhatsApp platform this Sunday night by 7 p.m. and the training costs 10,000 naira only. But for the benefit of the first 10 people to register with us, our company will teach them how to set up the minimum account for their business, which they can upgrade later. Do not forget, information is power, and this information will surely change your life if you can key into it immediately. Remember, if you start this business today with as low as 2,000 naira, you will begin to make money today, and you can achieve 300% of whatever you put in as capital in 60 days, and you don't need to invite anyone before you get paid. For the benefit of those who are interested in this training coming up on the WhatsApp platform this Sunday by 7 p.m., you can pay the sum of 10,000 naira into our account at Echo Bank. The name of the account is Everyday Income School, and the account number is 2080031065. Once again, 2080031065. Everyday Income School Echo Bank account.
Call Mr. Ayo on this number 081 42 29 3014. 080 42 29 3014.
For the benefit of those who are just joining us, I am a representative of Everyday Income School, and this is an online school that teaches people how to make multiple streams of income, especially from their phone. This one that we have brought to you today is a training that will be coming up on Sunday, 7 p.m. on WhatsApp platform. If you are interested in this training, you pay 10,000 naira. But for the benefit of the first 10 people to register with our company, we will teach you how to set up the minimum account for your business, which you can upgrade later. If you start this business today with as low as 2,000 naira, you will get paid today, and you can achieve 300% of whatsoever you use as capital in 60 days.
Call Mr. Ayo on this number 081 42 29 3014. 080 42 29 3014.
You can pay into our Echo Bank account. The name of the account is Everyday Income School. The account number is 2080031065. For more information or inquiries,
call Mr. Ayo on 080 42 29 3014.
Thank you.
Talk radio. I listen to a lot of talk radio.
95.1 FM.
Talk radio. I listen to a lot of talk radio.
95.1 FM.
My name is Gianni Infantino, FIFA president. For the best of sports, always listen to Today Sports Live on Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt.
Hello, my name is Kanu aka Papilo. For the latest and trending sports stories, always listen to Today Sports Live on Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt.
One look her best, even though now the fact that I want a bicycle. The season was the season where everybody did in a hurry. The season of unnecessary accidents. The season for blood drinkers. Yeah, my brother. They were very, very good. I want December no Lubego. On December no Lubego. On December no Lubego. On December no Lubego. My brother on Wednesday one only. On December no Lubego. On December. On December no Lubego. On December no Lubego. On December no Lubego.
Well, a fine afternoon to you. Welcome to today's Sports Live on, of course, your premium news talk and sports radio station, Today 95.1 FM. It's December 11th, just 14 days to Christmas. It's not exactly the same Christmas that we've had in the last good number of years in the past. This year was spectacular. Some people are saying, okay, my pocket is very full, it's very plenty. Some are saying there's nothing there, and all that stuff. But then again, it's today's Sports Life, and sports never ceases to give us thrills and chills, especially when it comes to football, boxing, and of course some of the major sports, even as we expect the Olympics to come up next year. Well, the show, like is always interactive. So I would open the phone lines at some point for you to air your opinions right here on the show. Wisdom Obina is my name, and I would be leading you into the big stories. Well, a whole lot on the menu. The big fight between Kubrat Pulev and Anthony Joshua. Both fighters they've only been beaten once in their lifetime as heavyweight boxers. They will be up against each other on Saturday. The Bulgarian Pulev up against Anthony Joshua. How would that one be panning out? Both of them are talking tough ahead of this one. Pulev says he feels underrated, but that's important. That's even a good thing, because the fact that he's underrated gives him the fire to fight. Well, we'd also look at football, where for Nigeria, we're just going to touch that a little bit. We ended the year 35th in the world. What would that say about our 2020? We didn't have too many games in 2020, yeah? But some teams used this same 2020 to move up a bit. Can we say, okay, we just had a fair 2020, we should just give them a pass mark? We'll look at the games played and how, of course, we performed in some of those games. The UEFA FIFA Pro 11, I told us in the morning when we had Sports Attack that I try to reel out some of the names on that list. Even as Bayern Munich, no need guessing, they dominated the list. And in England, that's in Europe now proper, we talk about the Premier League, the Spanish La Liga, the German Bundesliga. Well, they make a return this weekend. We had the fury of the Champions League, some being thrown out, some progressing to the next round. And, they are all back to their leagues to continue giving us the best of the action. What happens when Frank Lampard comes up against Carlo Ancelotti, his former boss? Also, at the Manchester Stadium, that's going to be particularly at Old Trafford. That game comes up 6:30 at Old Trafford. It's with Man United up against Manchester City. What would happen at the end of the day? Do you think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will be fired if he loses against Man City? Well, the phone lines will be open, like I told you earlier, for you to air your opinion. But before that, you can join us on the text message portal. It's 0701 9339 962. I'll take it again, 0701 9339 962. That doubles as our WhatsApp portal. You can also send us your messages via the WhatsApp or the text message portal. On Twitter, we are Today FM 951. That is at Today FM 951. Do well to copy me. My handle is at wisdom_OB. That is wisdom_OB. And I'll be reading your tweets real time here on the show.
There are a few areas that define a man, like sports.
I think we can live with that.
All right, and enough of the story. Let's get into the action proper. Well, Bulgarian IBF mandatory challenger Kubra Pulev says he's happy the fight with Anthony Joshua is holding this year instead of 2017. Now, the 39-year-old Pulev was supposed to face the Brit in 2017 shortly after his monumental world title tussle against Vladimir Klitschko, but pulled through injury. Instead, Carlos Takam stepped in on late notice and was bravely stopped in the 10th round of the bout at the Principality Stadium in Cardiff. Pulev is an obscure figure outside boxing, but in Bulgaria, he remains widely popular. Almost 2 million people in his home country watched him lose his only previous world title bout against Vladimir Klitschko in 2014. And Pulev believes he has learnt a lot in the last 3 years.
So I learned a lot of things from that time. 3 years is more experience for me. I think 2 or 3 fights. And 3 fights here, and this is more experience for me, and I'm happy.
So you believe that this is a better time for yourself to be fighting Anthony Joshua?
Yes, I believe. I know it's the best time because I want this fight, and this fight is fact because I want.
Pulev also says he has been underrated, with some quarters already talking of a world unification fight between Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua. He believes this is to his favor, while adding that Tyson Fury is a better fighter than Anthony Joshua.
I was heavily influenced by him as a
Kubrat, do you find it somewhat, I don't know if the right word is disrespectful, but there's been so much talk of Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury, but people have to remember that you're the one facing Anthony Joshua this week.
Yes, this is in my side because he...
You believe he's underestimating you?
I believe, yeah, a little bit, maybe.
Who do you believe is the better fighter between Anthony and Tyson Fury?
I think Tyson Fury. I think so. We see his last 2 fights. He was good. Was not bad.
All right. He says he's been underrated. Well, we'll come to the thoughts of Joshua on that particular one. But Reliance is here. Reliance, good afternoon to you.
Hi, Wisdom. Good afternoon.
All right, Reliance, let me throw you in. Kubra Pulev is saying that he's been underrated, but I mean, it's a good thing. It's to his favor. I don't know. Do you actually think it's to his favor that if he's actually being underrated?
No, I don't think anybody underrates on Kubrat Pulev, not even Anthony Joshua, not even anybody in his camp, because he has been on this table before. Recall the first bout against Andy Reid Jr. It was something similar. Joshua was busy talking about the proposed bout against Deontay Wilder. He totally underrated Andy Reid Jr. I mean, didn't see what was coming. He believed he had read Andy Reid Jr., had watched a couple of clips about the fighter, the American-Mexican fighter, and he had this confidence that he could easily take out the man. After all, the man just had about a couple of days, maybe weeks, to come into the bout after Big Baby Miller was initially scheduled to take on Anthony Joshua, but had to be ruled out because of testing positive to a doping substance. So, with the underrating of Andy Reid Jr., he saw the result of that one. He wouldn't want to find himself swimming in the same waters again, underrating Kubrat Pulev. I mean, Kubrat Pulev is a big puncher, if you ask me, although Anthony Joshua has a better reach than he has, but he's a big puncher. He depends more on his strength and his ability to drop those heavy pounds punch. So he wouldn't want to do that. So I don't think Anthony Joshua is underrating Kubrat Pulev. And even if he's underrating Kubrat Pulev, would that work in his favor? Well, most times it happens. It does. Because, like I mentioned, the Andy Reid Jr. stuff worked in Andy Reid Jr.'s favor. You know, but in this case, I don't think that is the case. Although there is a fight in principle against Tyson Fury, although there are so many conditions that must be fulfilled before we eventually see that bout, or there are so many obstacles that must be overcome before we eventually see that bout, making it a similar case like it was in 2019, the first bout against Andy Ruiz Jr. when there was a proposed bout against Deontay Wilder. But I don't think at this point he would allow himself to be beaten twice. That's how they used to say it. I think is it once beaten, twice shy or something like that. So that's not the case at this point. I'm sure he understands his belts are on the line, those 3 belts, not all of them. But come on, I don't think Anthony Joshua, the preparations and everything is not underrated.
Okay, but flashing back to 2017, Pulev was supposed to take on Joshua. Pulev got injured and Carlos Takam had to come in. Do you think it would have been better 3 years ago, knowing that the man is 39 years of age now? Should have been 36 or thereabout at that time or at the point. Do you have any belief that, or which version of Pulev would have been better, the one of 3 years ago or the one of today?
Well, age is one thing that you cannot dispatch easily in sport. It has a way of catching up on you. You just talked about 3 years ago. Then Kubrat Pulev was 36 because he's 39 right now. And if you want to consider the age of Anthony Joshua, who is how old is Joshua? 31 right now. You're looking at the man that was 20, 31 minus 3. That's about 28 years of age as at that time. So both of them were much younger, difference being 3 years of age. And I'm asking myself, Joshua was younger. It's not like, the clock for Joshua's age stopped counting or something, or increased better, or Kubrat Pulev age, continued counting. Joshua has been on his peak ever since that time, since 2017 down to 2020. He's still on his peak, So maybe, just maybe, it would have been better if Kubrat Pulev took Joshua at that time, considering how old he was as at the time, just 3 years of age, just 3 years difference, just maybe. Well, come on, if you consider that Joshua has been a boxer that has been on the rising ever since then, then you ask yourself, what would have been the possibility of Joshua or Kubrat Pulev knocking out Anthony Joshua? Let's not forget, this same Anthony Joshua, within that period of time, I don't recall exactly, fought, was it Vladimir Klitschko?
No, he fought Vladimir Klitschko first before this time.
He fought Klitschko first, right? Before that time. And this was one of the most scary boxer in the heavyweight division as at the time.
And so Klitschko had even beaten Pulev.
And that was more like the most feared boxer as at the time, Vladimir Klitschko, the Klitschko brothers. They were dominating the scene as at that time. And that was when Anthony Joshua fought him. So you want to ask yourself, would Kubrat Pulev been a better opponent to Anthony Joshua than one of the Klitschko brother that Anthony Joshua fought? I think one of the Klitschko brothers that Anthony Joshua fought was a better opponent as at the time. So I don't think it really matters. Right now, Joshua has been a better boxer even as at that time, and Joshua is still a better boxer than Kubrat Pulev even as at this time. So I don't think the age thing would have really counted much. Maybe just a slight, advantage would have been to Kubrat Pulev. Probably instead of a knockout, will land at unanimous decision, or will depend on the scorecards of the judges. Probably that would have been the thing, but Joshua has been on the rising ever since that time until now. So I don't think it would have really made any difference.
Okay, let's now listen to Joshua when it comes to underrating Pulev. Let's get his own thoughts. Is he really underrating Kubrat Pulev?
Look, it's a tough fight, bro. I've learned what banana skin is about, and I want to win. I feel like, and I'm forever honestly going to feel like a challenger. So before it was like the gravy train, now it's about the train that I control. Like, this ain't about the hype train, this is real deal. I'm not underestimating anyone. We've seen a lot happen this year with other fighters that have underestimated fighters. And like, if you take your opponent seriously, I feel like it eliminates any chance of them winning. So I'm taking Pulev very serious. You know what I mean?
All right, I'm taking Pulev very seriously. Eddie Hearn says the media expects Anthony Joshua to blow out Kubrat Pulev, but they should not forget what happened when Joshua came up against Andy Ruiz Jr. the first time.
Can't help it. It doesn't matter if you don't want to talk about it, you don't want media to talk about it. They're always going to talk about it because it's the biggest fight. When AJ boxed Andy Ruiz, he went into ESPN. they had him in for 10 minutes live on air. They never asked him one question about Andy Ruiz. They just talked about Deontay Wilder. And it's like, he actually came out and said, bloody hell, didn't even ask me about Andy Ruiz. That's how much people expected him to just blow through Andy Ruiz. And they expect him to blow through Kubrat Pulev. But Kubrat Pulev is a top 5, certainly top 10 heavyweight. He's a mandatory challenger. He's very good. Very good. And it ain't going to be easy. It's going to be a great fight. And I'm nervous, but it's what we fucking live for.
All right. But Eddie Hearn says he's nervous. Could it be because an underrated Andy Ruiz Jr. handed Joshua a TKO? And maybe he's expecting something similar to happen. Let's listen to Hearn once more.
Not really. I've always been nervous for AJ fights because I know I'm probably less nervous as we go on because he's getting better and better and he's getting more experienced. Now, when he fought Klitschko, he didn't know what he was doing. He had 15 fights. He was a complete novice. You know, even when he boxed Povetkin, Parker, all these people, he was a novice. It was only really when we got out to Saudi where he learned so much about the game. I just feel like he's the best heavyweight in the world, and I think you're never unbeatable in this division, but he's getting to a point where he's probably got another 20% to go till he gets to his optimum. But he's so good, and I just hope on Saturday he can show all the things that we've seen, the improvements he's made, and I hope that we can see just a performance that makes everyone go, wow.
All right, for Eddie Hearn, it's about the performance. What concerns him, it's about the box. But Joshua will be cutting away £10 million if he wins this one, while the challenger that's talking about Kubrat Pulev will be taking away £3 million. There's a rematch clause. If Joshua beats Pulev or vice versa or something. If Joshua beats Pulev, yes, that's exactly the clause. Then it could trigger a rematch with Kubrat Pulev. So exactly why Bob Arum says that Tyson Fury big fight might just not be coming very early, and Fury might just be looking at taking Deontay Wilder a second time. But Reliance, let me bring you in. Let's get to the big part of it. Joshua versus Pulev on Saturday. How do you see this one panning out?
Well, it's going to be one of those bouts expected, and I think it might have to go the way to the way of the scorecards of the judges in the end. But I still stick with what I've said before, that Joshua is going to come out victorious. Joshua has been the better boxer. There's no argument about that.
Okay.
He has had one defeat in his career. Yeah, Kubrat Pulev, same, has had one defeat in his career. But come on, who defeated Kubrat Pulev, and who did? I think it's that same person that Joshua defeated.
Klitschko, yes.
Joshua defeated. You know, so. In all ramification, head-to-head, Joshua has been a better boxer. You look at the belts currently in the heavyweight division is in the custody of Anthony Joshua. Joshua has a better reach, think about 208 centimeters, whereas Kubrat Pulev has about 202. Joshua is
taller,
6'6" Kubrat is 6'4". So, in all ramifications at this point, Joshua has been the better boxer. And going into that bout, he's going to still be the better boxer. Yeah, Joshua has learned to be conservative. I mean, Joshua is a different kind of boxer entirely. And he doesn't really play according to your own script.
Okay.
Joshua brings a different flair when it comes to boxing. He doesn't do that aggression that you could want to liken to what was obtainable in the days of let's say
Muhammad
Ali or Mike Tyson and the likes. It's only Tyson Fury that could give you a glimpse of what boxing was like.
Deontay too.
Maybe Deontay too, because Deontay won to knock you out and all that, and trash talk and all that stuff. So the man has been a more conservative boxer. It's about the style. Something if Japa admitted that styles makes boxing.
All right.
So that's why I might not expect a TKO or a KO itself from Joshua. But whatever the case is, I mean, unanimous decision, scorecards,
Okay.
I think it's going to be a win for Anthony Joshua.
All right. Well, we'll wait. More on this one. I'm sure Sunday would give us all the time to talk about it. And one question I would like us to talk about on Sunday, whoever sits here might be me on the other side or something. Why do Nigerians always see Joshua as their own? I would like everybody to come with their own reasons.
But he's a Nigerian now.
No, when we get there. On Sunday, you tell me why. But that's by the way. The UEFA FIFA Pro 11, let's talk about it a little bit before we get to Europe. Meanwhile, for your thoughts, who do you think will win at the end of the day? I'm sure if I ask Reliance, he will either tell me that he doesn't want to sit on, he wants to sit on the fence, or he doesn't want to put his hat in this one, or his hat tells him and his head tells him something else. But don't worry, send in your thoughts. Who do you think would win? Anthony Joshua coming up against Kubrat Pulev right there in the UK, in London. Who comes up tops at the end of the day? Sending your text messages is 0701 9339 962. WhatsApp, it doubles as the same number, 0701 9339 962. On Twitter, Today FM 951. Do well to copy me. My handle is at wisdom_OB. Reliance is here. His handle is at reliable rely. All right, the International Federation of Professional Footballers, FIFPro, did announce the 55 nominees for the 2020 FIFA World 11, and 4 African stars made the list. I promised us in the morning that I'll reel out a good number of those names, and I'll try. Alisson Becker of Liverpool, Thibaut Courtois, David De Gea, Gianluigi Donnarumma, Ederson Moraes, Hugo Lloris, Keylor Navas, Manuel Neuer, Jan Oblak, Marc-Andre ter Stegen, the goalkeepers. Now for the defenders, we have David Alaba, Jordi Alba, Tobias Alderweireld, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Dani Alves, Jerome Boateng, Alphonso Davies, Virgil van Dijk, Kalidou Koulibaly, Matthias de Ligt, Marcelo, Sergio Ramos, Andrew Robertson, Thiago Silva, Rafael Varane. Midfielders, we have Thiago Alcantara of Bayern and Liverpool these days, Dele Alli, Sergio Busquets, Casemiro of Real Madrid, Felipe Coutinho, Kevin De Bruyne, Bruno Fernandes, Leon Goretzka, Jordan Henderson, Frankie de Jong, N'Golo Kante, Toni Kroos, Joshua Kimmich, Luka Modric, Thomas Müller, making up the midfielders. For the forwards, we have Sergio Aguero, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, Karim Benzema, Serge Gnabry, Erling Haaland, Zlatan Ibrahimovic, Harry Kane, Robert Lewandowski, Sadio Mane, Kylian Mbappe, Lionel Messi, Neymar Jr., Cristiano Ronaldo, Mohamed Salah, and Heung-min Son of Tottenham completing the list right there. Reliance, only 11 players will be picked, but did any of these names come to you as a surprise?
Nah, not really. We're looking at it's sort of 55 nominees, right? So I don't think it's fellow footballers that voted for this one, and you know, it always a thing of popularity, wisdom, because there are some names that might eventually make the cut, and you'll be asking yourself why. What was this one doing? For instance, Filippo Coutinho is part of it. And you want to question yourself, you want to ask yourself, I mean, how was the season for Filippo Coutinho? Although he enjoyed some stint, I think, with Bayern, you know, at some point and all that. So it's the first phase of the nomination, 55 of them, and to be trimmed down eventually.
To 11.
Going to have the 11 of them. So I think for a start, like some N'Golo Kante, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, you know, Sadio Mane, Kylian Mbappe, and all that. For a start, I think they deserve to be mentioned for the first phase. I mean, I don't think there's anybody there that shouldn't have been there. Heung-min Son of Tottenham Hotspur, at least for a start. But where it's going to get hot and hotter will be once we get to that final 11. Then we'll start asking questions, because I, for one, believe that a lot of Bayern Munich players should dominate it, although they're not going to have all 11 scorchy, but it might shock you in the end, wisdom, that you see like 8. Maybe 8. That's going to be great. Now you could see 5 of Bayern Munich players, you know, in the list. The likes of Joshua Kimmich could eventually not make the final list. Why? Because it's footballers that vote for these things, and
they know themselves.
They just know themselves. It's we that mostly take time to look out for the performances of these players season in, season out for a particular period of time. But for them, it's about Sergio Ramos has been Sergio Ramos. He's a key thing for a key figure now for Real Madrid. You know, so at this point, fine and good. But let's wait until the final 11. Then we start scrutinizing who is there that's supposed to be there. And of course.
All right. But Reliance, 4 Africans made it to this list. Kalidou Koulibaly, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, Sadio Mane, Mohamed Salah. 55 names globally. Just 4 Africans in a world where we have about 6 continents or thereabouts, and we just produced 4 names. Overall this year, and maybe 2019-2020 season, did African players give enough by your own estimation and by our standards in the past?
Well, by our standards in the past, maybe you would have asked for an improvement, but by my own estimation, I think I can handpick a couple of African players who were a bit outstanding, that deserve to be mentioned maybe in the first phase of the nomination, which has 55 names. Maybe you could might want to talk about who should I even mention? Okay, Premier Aubameyang is there.
Kalidou Koulibaly, Salah.
Salah.
Outside these names, do we have any other name in Africa that is doing anything meaningful?
That's the thing. That's the thing. I know some persons might want to make a case or an argument for our own Wilfred Ndidi.
Oh, come on. Come on. Come on. What did you do this season? The 1920 season. What did you do?
Like I mentioned, wisdom, but to be honest with you, there is no way this list will be compiled and Sadio Mane won't be there.
Yeah.
There's no way the list will be compiled and Aubameyang won't be there. Irrespective, I mean,
although not the first
season.
11, 55.
Yeah, for the first 55, yeah, he had a fantastic season. Know that last season, he was getting the goals for Arsenal. Yeah.
All right.
Then there's no way the list will also be mentioned and Mohamed Salah won't be there. You know why? These are recognized players. These players have pedigree more than even away from Ndidi, for instance. Now, because like I mentioned, most of the voters for this first list, I mean the players now, they don't really watch most of their colleagues as much as we do. So at times it has to do with prominence, recognition, coming in from between them, like inter-recognition now between players or among players. So you want to ask yourself, the season wasn't really fantastic for Wilfred Ndidi altogether as a team, for the team he plays for.
Okay.
But come on, look around the globe. Tell me who was very, very outstanding, apart from the 4 being mentioned. I don't think there is any. Probably you could say that they would have just done us some favor by putting out some names in the first 55, which I'm sure will be trimmed down before the final 11. We're not even sure. Maybe I'm even thinking that maybe only Sadio Mane or Mohamed Salah might make it to the last phase, but I think that's what it is at the moment.
0817-0000951, 0810951091. I'll take it again. 0817 0000951, 0810951091. We've talked about the big fight between Kubrat Pulev and Anthony Joshua. Now, both guys have only been beaten once in their heavyweight boxing careers. Anthony Joshua losing to Andy Ruiz Jr. and Kubrat Pulev losing to Vladimir Klitschko. They will be clashing against each other on Saturday evening in London. How do you see that one panning out? Who takes it at the end of the day, Joshua or Pulev? We've also talked about the FIFA Fifth Pro. I did say we'll just mention Nigeria in, but don't worry, I'm sure we'll leave it for Saturday. FIFA Fifth Pro, where we had 55 nominees, 4 Africans, by the way. No Nigerian anywhere around it, but 4 Africans made the list. What are your thoughts on that one before we move to Europe? Today's Sports Live, good afternoon. Oh, we lost that one. All right, to the message portal. WhatsApp, this one says, good afternoon, Wisdom Mobina. My name is Emeka from Zoba. Okay, from Ozoba. Okay, Anthony Joshua will win. No stress. Okay, this one says, good evening, sports crew. Good afternoon. I just hope Joshua doesn't disappoint us this time. I go for him to win in the 9th round. Charles Sav from Elelewon. This one says, what is David De Gea doing there? He has been inconsistent, but I'm happy for him. Why isn't Bruno Fernandes? Oh, Bruno is there, by the way. Ask yourself how many Asian players are there. Another message from me. How many American players are there? Osimhen should be in that list. What did Heung-min Son do last season? And please, is Lukaku there? Okay. Today's Sports Live, good afternoon. Okay. The phone line's not too fair, but keep your calls coming through. I'm sure you get through at some point. Lukaku is not there. It's not there, but we have...
What's up, Mori Icardi?
Nah, it's not there too. Today's Sports Live. Icardi of PSG. Good afternoon.
My name is Believe. I'm calling from Igbo.
Believe. Welcome. Let's hear you.
Yes. I want to talk about the Anthony Joshua game match. I think he will lose. He will lose that game.
He will lose?
He will lose. Yes.
Okay. Okay. All right. Thank you so much for your thoughts. All right. Chidubem joins us here. Chidubem, good afternoon to you.
Yeah, good afternoon, Wisdom. Good afternoon, Reliance as well. I just needed to talk about the African nomination.
Yeah.
I was thinking about N'Golo Kante and why he was on that list. Lance has talked about the popularity is a thing. Last season, yes, I know Chelsea fans will come at me and everything, but last season, N'Golo Kante was a bit quiet last season. And I'm saying that because I'm comparing him with a certain Thomas Partey, who is an African, who was excellent by his standards in Atletico Madrid. played in a different role, was more attacking for the team, and did very well for Atletico Madrid last season. Transitional phase they had when it comes to their playing pattern, trying to be a lot more attacking this time around. Thomas Partey was very key, even at the start of the season before he came to Arsenal. So I wonder why Thomas Partey didn't make that list. And then you have N'Golo Kante. But like we said, sometimes it's just about popularity. But good enough, those other players are there. I wouldn't make a case for Hakim Ziyech because we all know he was injured for most part of the season. Riyad Mahrez as well can't be there. So I think it's fair enough, the numbers we have there. But I think I would make a strong case for the man Thomas Partey on that list.
Thomas Partey. All right, Chidubem, thank you so much for your thoughts. All right, let's get back to the phone line. Says Thomas Partey, probably. Okay, we lost that one again, but do see if you can get through. Let's get back to the text message portal. This one on WhatsApp says, "Hello, Sports Gang. Please, what is Felipe Coutinho and Dele Alli doing in this list? And if Dele can be on this list, why not Ndidi?" Emmanuel, with that one. I also asked what Dele was doing on that list. This one says, "Hi, Emeka. Okay, no, it's Wisdom that's here. Wisdom, Obina, and Reliance. I'm a real Man U fan, but City will win so that Ole can be sacked, okay? Join me to say shame to Pogba for not making the list." Yeah, I don't want to say anything. Today's Sports Live, good afternoon. Hello.
Good afternoon, Obina.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, my name is Sam from Liverpool.
All right, Sam, go ahead. Let's hear you.
Yeah, I want to comment on the FIFA Pro 55.
Go on.
Yeah, I think that at least do better than Marcus Rashford during the hard-going season.
That who?
I mean, Dele Alli.
Okay, Dele Alli. You know, Dele Alli doesn't come in from the attack. He was placed among the midfielders, I think. Yes.
Yes.
I think Dele Alli.
Rashford is a forward.
Yeah, but Dele Alli was one of the worst midfielders last season. He contributed nothing during the Mauricio Pochettino towards his ending. He contributed little or nothing to the Tottenham team. And coupled with the injuries.
Okay. All right.
I don't think that guy.
Dele Alli. All right, Sam. All right.
Concerning the Anthony Joshua fight, I think that guy will lose.
Which guy will lose?
Anthony Joshua.
Okay. Thank you so much, Sam, for your thoughts. Today's Sports Live. Good afternoon. Hello.
Yeah, good afternoon. Good afternoon. I'm Promise calling from Port Harcourt.
Promise, let's hear you.
Yeah. Obina. I don't know the problem. I don't know I want to talk about the scholar that talk about N'Golo Kante.
No, you talk about you talk about your opinion on N'Golo Kante. Leave the caller. What's your opinion?
What? No, I don't want to talk anything much, but I don't the way.
No, you talk about no. We are good. I understand your point, but just talk about N'Golo Kante from your own point. Hello.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
See, to me, I don't see any problem. I don't see any problem taking N'Golo Kante. N'Golo Kante was good. Even if life, he was very enough. Even if you compare, if you look at N'Golo Kante this season, he's very, very fantastic this season. So I don't know. So to me, I'm a Chelsea fan. Really, I'm a Chelsea fan. So okay. I don't see any. N'Golo Kante is very capable.
Okay. Thank you so much for your thought. It says N'Golo Kante deserves to be there. Yes, after all, he did so well. Maybe for Chelsea in the outgone
It's just
season.
the first 55, Wisdom.
Huh?
For a start, it's just the first 55.
Today's Sports Live. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Wisdom. Good afternoon. This month calling from Wisdom.
Quickly, go on.
Actually, you made mention of the list that no Nigerian is there. I never expected any Nigerian. Even the people are clamoring for.
No one is clamoring for him, actually.
Okay. If you look at the position of our national team, the administration and everything, I think we don't deserve, Nigeria does not merit any player to play on that list. I'm saying the truth. Administrative-wise, on the pitch-wise, okay, imagine, just at the resumption of the list, you can make mention of everything, sorry. you can mention a lot of our players that have moved from the top division to the
lower division.
Third division. Lower division.
Okay.
Yeah. So we don't merit
to having okay. We've gotten your thoughts. Thank you so much. Says, I mean, it's not a Nigerian. It's not. It doesn't have to just be a Nigerian thing. It's a thing of excellence. Maybe no Nigerian really did something too big.
I don't think even the Victor Osimhen that someone just mentioned. I mean,
not too much. Not too big. Today's Sports Live. Good afternoon.
Yes. Good afternoon. This is James.
James, go ahead.
Yes. For me, I know that Nigeria player will not make the elite because there's no quality. None of them have the quality to be at that league. I saw Anthony Joshua. I think Pulev is going to beat Anthony Joshua hands down.
All of you are giving it to Pulev.
Yes. Beat Anthony Joshua.
Okay.
I told my friend against this guy, Andrew Lewis, that beat him the first time. I think he's going to beat Anthony Joshua, and that's what happened.
All right.
Anthony Joshua is going to lose that fight.
All right. Thank you so much for your thoughts. One or two predictions now going in favor of Pulev. We would see. This one says, how can Lukaku, Icardi, Danny Ings, Vardy not be there, but Kane and Son is there? Well, it's...
who won the Golden Boot last season?
The UEFA FIFA Pro Award. It's not just a thing of the English Premier League. I think all these names he mentioned are Premier League players.
Who won the Golden Boot?
Danny Ings was joint. Ings,
no, I don't mean in the Premier League. I think...
Europe as a whole.
Europe, yeah. Wasn't it
Lewandowski?
Okay, was it? Okay,
it was Lewandowski.
There is.
Lewandowski was the highest goal scorer in Europe last season.
My brain is playing tricks with me. Well, I'll figure it out. Just continue.
Okay. All right. Let's move on and talk about the English Premier League. Okay, and we start out with England. Well, there will be games. I'll just reel out those games quickly, and we get some of the reactions. Leeds United will take on West Ham United tonight. 9 p.m. is the time. Wolves will be up against Aston Villa. Newcastle United will take on West Brom. Manchester United, the Manchester Derby, they will be up against Manchester City. Everton will take on Chelsea. And Southampton will be up against Sheffield United, Crystal Palace, Tottenham Hotspur, Fulham, Liverpool, Arsenal, Burnley, Leicester City, Brighton. Well, one of the sweet games will be Chelsea up against Everton. It's an Evertonian side led by Carlo Ancelotti, a man who Lampard knows through and through. Would that count for anything? And of course, where does Frank Lampard place Carlo Ancelotti in the list of coaches that he has been under in the past?
I was heavily influenced by him as a player and as a man at the time. He's right at the top when I speak about the managers that I work with. For everything about him, his huge success he's had in his career at various clubs. And one-to-one, I found him a great coach, a great man. And as I say, he influenced me, and I very much look forward at all times to seeing him and speaking to him.
All right, and a quick correction there. Ciro Immobile won the UEFA Golden Shoe.
Good.
Last
Ciro
season.
Immobile. That's never I've been looking for.
He won the Golden Shoe last season. But
what about his name? Is he there?
No, Ciro is not there. But I think last season, for this season, I don't know if that has been. I don't know. Maybe let me just clear that up. Then I'll probably put an argument in that light. But last season, if you say Golden Shoe for last season, it means okay, the awards have been held and it has been handed to someone. The highest goal scorer in the whole of Europe last season. Is it this man? Is it that man? I think Ciro Immobile won it because ordinarily he's probably supposed to be on the. But I'll confirm. I'm having some differences reconciling both of them in my head. But let's quickly talk about the Manchester Derby Reliance. What are you expecting? It's going to be Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, who has had a very rough week up against Pep Guardiola, who has had a nice week too, by the way.
Well, a regular word we use at times, KG. And that's what I think it's going to be like. I ordinarily, at this point, you would think that the poor form of Manchester United will count for something against Manchester City. But come on, this is a derby. And Ole proved at some point last season that he could get results, against the big boys, irrespective of how his form has been against the relatively smaller boys in the Premier League. And when you consider that this is a match that will be played at Old Trafford, Ole has had poor forms now, poor results at home this season. But going away from home, he has managed to get results. Think about a couple of consecutive wins for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer away from home this season in the Premier League. But this is going to be a home match, so you want to think that probably that's going to count for something again against Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in favor of Manchester City. And also understanding that Manchester City seems to be a side that has elevated themselves from the struggles to get goals. Of course, you might want to understand because they've lost some of players to injuries. But since they defeated Burnley 5-0, the only bleak, more like, in their number of goals, in their score lines in matches will be against Porto that they drew goalless. But after then, 2-0 against Fulham, 3-0 against Marseille in the UEFA Champions League. So you want to say that they've been able to score about 10 goals in their last 4 matches, Manchester City, in all competitions. So that's to say that probably that goals flair is returning for Manchester City. But again, those things at times don't count once it's a derby. And Ole is certainly under pressure at this point to deliver. You can't lose scandalously, maybe not scandalously, but you can't lose in the margin. You lost to Leipzig in the Champions League that resulted in you being thrown out of the competition, relegated to the Europa League, and then come up against Manchester City, and you want to misbehave again. So you might not see a whitewash. Even if Manchester City might eventually become the victors over Manchester United, it might not be in a 3-0, 4-0, 5-0 there. But and let's not forget the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer kind of football that has been heavily criticized is he tends to flourish better when he plays an opponent that holds onto the ball. He just gets the ball and then counter. And that's what you expect against Manchester City, because Manchester City enjoyed dominating position, although there was a little bit of tweak for Pep Guardiola at some point. I mean, didn't tend to hold on to the ball as long as one would have expected in the past. So those things might not count. Form might not count. It's a derby match. Manchester City might eventually win because they've been the better side thus far, but might not be in a great goal margin. But again, you're not going to surprise to see a draw.
All right, and why that stuff, the top scorer thing was confusing is because in Europe, is Robert Lewandowski with 15 goals in the Champions League. But he's not by the leagues, because the European Golden Shoe is for those who were top scorers, leading top scorers by the leagues.
By their leagues,
the top 5 leagues. So Robert Lewandowski was not, if you want to measure his goals in the league only. So Chiro was the leading goal scorer by the top 5 leagues. Lewandowski did his business of leading Europe in the Champions League. But quickly, Relance, your predictions for that game.
Wisdom.
You want to run?
This is not my strongest of points, trust me.
Okay, no problem. Should they say these Chidu babies are not octopus? All right, in the Spanish La Liga, we have Real Valladolid coming up against Osasuna. Valencia will take on Athletic Bilbao. Getafe will be up against Sevilla. SD Huesca will take on Deportivo Alaves. Real Madrid will be up against Atletico Madrid. Real Sociedad will be up against Eibar. Real Betis will take on Villarreal. Elche will be up against Granada. Barcelona, Levante. Before we come to Spain, Reliance, quickly, do you think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will be fired if he loses against Man City?
I was even expecting him to be fired after being knocked out of the Champions League group stage, but that didn't happen. I mean, I could recall at some point, I think it was you who called the show, and you asked me, and I told you that Ole will be defeated by Leipzig, and he will eventually not qualify out of the group stage. It did happen, but he wasn't fired. That was to some sort of a surprise to me. So maybe just like Ed Woodward has been saying that he has the backup and the support of the United hierarchy, probably he has it in the meantime. So it might not happen. Manchester City is not a bigger rivals, to Manchester United. If it were a Liverpool, probably yeah, maybe that would have instigated the board to rethink their decision to throw him the support, because the strong rivalry between Manchester United and Liverpool that cannot be compared. I mean, cannot be compared to what exists between Manchester City and Manchester United. Come on, which Manchester City? Just about yesterday that they started having their lives more like their glory days and all that. So he might not be fired, but it's just a matter of time. I think Ole will be showing the exit door at some point.
Real Madrid Atletico.
Even
if Zidane says he might leave at the end of this season, we are hearing reports that he might leave at the end of this season because he ordered for the shoe he ordered is not the same thing.
It's not the same.
It's not the same the delivery man brought. Exactly. Instead, they promised him Camavinga, they promised him Pogba, and one other player, and he's not seen anything like that. They just allowed him to roll with the boys. But go ahead, Real Madrid Atletico.
Well, it's just unfortunate that in the Spanish La Liga, no team has been quite excellent. I mean, among the big boys, because if they've been quite excellent, as
Sociedad won't be on top.
Sociedad won't be topping the league. Cadiz will be topping Barcelona. In the order of things, beating Barca, beating even the Real Madrid themselves. Yeah. I mean, just in newly promoted side. So, Atletico Madrid should have taken advantage, should have seized this opportunity to be the better side. But come on, they've also found a way to shy away from leading proceedings right there. So it has also been one foot in, 1 foot out for the big boys in the Spanish La Liga. So the two Madrid sides going against themselves is a derby match. Could eventually see some sort of a draw or something.
Wolfsburg will be up against Eintracht Frankfurt tonight in the Bundesliga. On Saturday, we'll see Borussia Dortmund take on VfB Stuttgart. Borussia Mönchengladbach will be up against Hertha Berlin. Freiburg will take on Arminia Bielefeld. Mainz 05 will take on FC Cologne. Rasenball Sport Leipzig will be up against Werder Bremen. Union Berlin will take on Bayern Munich. Augsburg will be up against Schalke 04. Bayer Leverkusen will take on Hoffenheim. In the Serie A, Sassuolo will be up against Benevento. Crotone will take on Spezia. Torino will be up against Udinese. Lazio will take on Hellas Verona. On Sunday, we'll see Cagliari come up against Inter Milan. Atalanta, Fiorentina. Bologna, Roma. SSC Napoli, Sampdoria. Genoa, Juventus. AC Milan, Parma. And in the Ligue 1, Saint-Etienne, Angers, Marseille, Monaco, Lens, Montpellier, Nice, Rennes, Brest, Reims, Lorient vs Nîmes. Nantes will be up against Dijon. And Strasbourg will take on Metz. Lille will be up against Bordeaux. And PSG will take on Lyon. A quick look at the text message portal, and quickly we'll rush back to the phone lines. This one says, good afternoon, guys. Dele Ali is not supposed to be there. Please, when is our under-20 boys playing their last group match? Sachima from Roma Holu. This one says, Sergio Busquets. What's Sergio Busquets doing on that list? The Naves should not be on that list too. This one says, hello, Wisdom. I feel Joshua will lose that fight. And also, please, can you guys analyze the Chelsea vs Everton match? Let me know where to put my money. Okay. You pay. Good afternoon, Wisdom and Reliance. I am Wisdom texting from LMA. Chiro Immobile won the Golden Boot. It's given to the person. Okay, I think we've cleared that a bit. This one says, I have transferred. Okay, that's for... that's not for us.
Is it transferring us money?
But not for you. It's for another issue. Man City beat Man U by 4-0. As for my darling Chelsea, Everton will beat Everton by 4-0. You can take it to the bank. I'm sure you wanted to say. This one says Atletico Madrid aren't struggling. No, okay. Is Timo Werner on that list? Atletico Madrid aren't struggling. No, they are undefeated in the league. All right. Let's get to the phone line 0817-0000951, 0810-9510951. Meanwhile, Lance, prepare to tell him where he put his money. The phone line's open. We've talked about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. By the way, do you think losing to Man City would be the end of Ole's stay at Manchester United? Or you think there will be more to it? Because they've always come out to say, okay, they are confident in what Ole can do for United. Today's Sports Live.
Yeah, today's Sports Live. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Let's hear you quickly.
Yeah, Kingsley, give.
Go ahead.
I think I'm a Chelsea fan though. Marcus Rashford has nothing to do with that list. My reason is that what the players in that list that they included in that list, they all helped their team qualify to the next round of the Europa League and Champions League. All of them. If Rashford was that good, I mean, for Man U fans celebrating. He could have done it for Manchester United for them to qualify into the next round. So I don't think it's not meant to be there. All the players there, both Europa League and all the clubs that they put their players there went through. So for Man United not going through, he says Rashford name should have been dropped.
Okay. Thank you so much for your thoughts. Today's Sports Live. Hello.
Good afternoon. I called again the month. Actually concerning Man U's Man City's match. The problem with Man U is not even the coach, the management. You know why I said this? Because the management is supposed to have studied this guy and know him well before giving such a huge contract to him. After failing at Queen's Park Rangers and you brought such a person, you understand me? You brought such a person to a Man U. Man U is a well-known team, so it shouldn't be managed by an unknown entity.
All right.
So actually, yes.
Okay.
So the problem in Man U now is the management keeping that guy there. That guy has a very wrong philosophy when it comes to ball management and coaching.
All right. Thank you so much. We have gotten your thoughts. Today's Sports Live. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Wisdom.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, this is Luis Figo calling from Port Harcourt.
Luis Figo in Nigeria. Welcome. Let's hear you.
Yes, my brother. Well, tomorrow is Chelsea match. At least we are looking up to Chelsea to see if they can get the 3 points, because it's a 3 point that is needed in order to make sure we maintain the top 4 position. And for Man United sacking Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, I think I'm not seeing that coming, because Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is one of the brought up of Man United. So sacking him for not doing well, I think it will not be a boost to United team. But they should be patient with him. Probably Rooney is on the way coming.
Which club do you support?
I support Chelsea now.
That's why I said they should be patient. Today's Sports Live. Good afternoon.
Good day, sir. I'm not listening to the studio. Good day, sir.
We greet you. Your name and where you're calling us from?
Mr. Webb.
Mr. Webb, welcome. Let's hear you quickly, your last caller.
Okay, yes. My problem is almost all the time, you're going to lose one match. You people in the studio will say, no, sack. Sack who? Why? Why can't you sack you people? Can we sack you people in the studio? So that is on the lighter side. We shouldn't be talking about sack. This is a man who came third last season, who has beaten Man City and this other people team, bigger Chelsea severally. Why are we every time talking about sack? He's doing well. He's doing well. He's leading the league. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Webb, for your thoughts. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is doing well. That's according to you. You've not found out my own opinion, by the way. But for some people, he's doing well if you measure statistically. But for some people, this is not United standard. All right. Text message portal, WhatsApp. This one says, "Good afternoon, Sports Gang. I'm Joel Omega from Okobe. I see no reason why Dele Alli will be on the list. Please, is Liverpool's Henderson in the list? United have nothing to offer in this game. I'm a United fan, but I strongly believe City will win the game. Relance, where should that guy put his money quickly?"
Where should he put his money? I'm not really good at these things, though. But I think I'll just give you a couple of maybe points, and then you decide. Chelsea they've not been defeated in their last 5 Premier League matches. They've won 4, draw just 1 against Tottenham. Everton have been defeated. They've recorded 3 defeats, 1 draw and 1 win in their last 5 matches in the Premier League matches. So it tells you who's the better side. I think Chelsea has been the better side. So you might want to tilt your direction toward Chelsea. But come on, most times betting on win, outright win,
it's very difficult.
It's just difficult. Come on. But trust me, Chelsea has been the better side.
All right, well, this is where we draw the curtains on today's edition of Today's Sports Live. Thank you so much for your time. We'll return tomorrow 1 to 6 p.m. for the marathon edition of Today's Sports Live. We'll get to talk more about some of these things and get to even relate the issues better. As per the man asking for Henderson, I don't know if time will permit me to go through that one. Okay, he's not there, actually. No Jordan Henderson on that list. Relance was here. My name is Wisdom Obina. Join us 1 to 6 p.m. tomorrow for the marathon edition of Today's Sports Live. Until then, stay safe.
This good. Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt.
We know we hear word again. Every time, come and buy land. On radio, come and buy land.
What happen? You self relax. Stop that thing. Hope all of them be fake, I beg.
Now for your eye, they do me strong thing last time.
Good ones, they. You never hear of Landwood Properties Limited?
Landwood Properties don't carry better come. They can't carry this one where they call Kings Davis Court. Follow body. Plot of land for that place. Now just 550,000. It carry free deed of conveyance. Free survey plan. No push entry. Location no. Now place where you go get rest of mind. Kings Davis Court. In the behind the international airport for Ipo. December promo. To carry out inspection, make una call these numbers. 0703 004 0173. 0703 004 0173. I'll call them again. 0703 004 0173. Office address number 23, Rumadolu Market Road, behind Total Filling Station, Rumadolu Town, Port Harcourt. Everything about documents, we go prepare and give you. Any plot of land where you buy from us, gift day where you go carry go, bags of rice, hamper, and so many more. With Landwood Properties, now here the future start.
Yeah, it's life now. Wow.
Why you dey cry now?
This corona don't make them come on my husband for work. Nah, no job. No money to even open business. Rents don't expire. Now school don't even open. To chop na even wahala. Wetin I go do?
My sister, make I tell you about one ogbonge company wey don waka come Port Harcourt. They go help you settle all your basic needs quick. Their name na Next Gen Synergy. Dem don come to help people to pay rent, start new business, pay school fees, even plan wedding.
Ah, thank God oh.
Wetin you need? Wetin be that your project? We go help you reduce the cost of your project by 25% in 3 months, 50% in 6 months, 75% in 1 year.
How much it do am?
For more information, ring their telephone for 0703 354 3174, 0703 354 3174, or 0901 064 2536. Waka enter their office for number 3 Agudama Street, D-Line, Port Harcourt. Now Next Gen Media and Infotech power am.
Every day, every hour, when the big stories break, depend on our 24-hour news team to bring you the latest. Today, 95.1 FM.
Today, 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt. News update.
Good afternoon. Here's the news update on Today 95.1 FM. I am Wealth Wilson. Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike has announced his decision to build 3 more flyovers, making it 10 flyovers under his administration. The governor made the announcement when he appeared on a live television program monitored from our studio. Governor Wike also disclosed that the 3 flyovers will be located in both Obiakpo and Port Harcourt City local government areas of the state. He noted that he just realized that the 7 flyovers, which he is constructing, will not be enough for the state.
Now I'm angry. I thought 7 was okay. Flyovers. I'll do that. And they say it's important. You know, they don't have taste. Even the way they dress, when you saw them, they don't have taste. I don't want to be in the hobby about Portugal. Yes, to be there. I know. These are 2 cities. If you're not happy, you can die. We will have a cemetery. We'll bury you. I have no apologies to anybody. The city must look nice. The city must look nice. It must look nice. To promote economic activities. Population Portugal is too. Look at the traffic. You need to decongest it. There was a free flow of traffic. Yes, now we are suffering because of this construction. And it's not just construction by all these companies you don't know. How many states can work with Jos Mega?
Speaking on the recent defection of 2 former commissioners who served under his administration, Governor Wike said the 2 men have nothing to offer. The Edo State Governorship Election Petition Tribunal sitting in Benin City has dismissed the petition filed by the Action Alliance and Ukunga Onoivi. The tribunal dismissed the suit challenging the exclusivity of the party and its candidates from the September poll in a unanimous ruling delivered in Benin City, the state capital. Justice Chukwudi Nwako delivered the ruling in the presence of the chairman of the tribunal, Justice Abdul Razak Abdul Karim, and the 3rd judge, Justice Josephine Ayo. When the case was called, the counsel to the petitioners, Stephen Osagbevu, was not present in court. In its ruling, the tribunal held that in the petition against the first and second respondents, the petitioners failed to file the pre-hearing notice. As a result, it ruled that the petitioners were deemed to have abandoned the petition and thereafter dismissed the suit. Similarly, in the petition against the third respondent, the tribunal held that the pre-hearing notice was not filed within time by the petitioners and went ahead to dismiss it. President Muhammadu Buhari's Special Advisor on Media and Publicity, Femi Adesina, says the Ebonyi State Governor Dave Umahi has always been a member of the All Progressive Congress at heart, even while he was in the People's Democratic Party. Adesina said this in a piece titled Dave Umahi's Heart of Lion. The presidential spokesman praised the Ebonyi State Governor for being courageous enough to dump the opposition PDP for the APC. He said Umahi had always loved and respected President Muhammadu Buhari and never hid it, even though they were of the different political parties. While pressing Umahi's actions, Adesina said the governor has done what Napoleon could not do. On the foreign scene, United Kingdom's Prime Minister Boris Johnson and the European Union have both warned that they are unlikely to reach a post-Brexit trade deal by Sunday. European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen said no deal was the most probable end of what she described as difficult task. On his part, UK Prime Minister urged the EU needed to make a big change over the main sticking points on fishing rights and business competition rules. The Sunday deadline was set by the two leaders after months of talks failed to achieve any agreement. If a trade deal is not reached and ratified by both sides by 31 December, the UK and EU would impose taxes, tariffs on each other's goods. This could lead to higher prices, among other changes. And that was the news update on Today 95.1 FM. Do not forget to take responsibility. Wash your hands frequently with soap on the running water. Avoid touching your face in high contact surfaces to prevent coronavirus. Once again, good afternoon. I am Wealth Wilson and thank you for listening. Do stay tuned as High Prep in Action comes up next.
Today's news, today's entertainment, today's sports, today's issues. Today on Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt.
Talk radio. I listen to a lot of talk radio.
95.1 FM.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please?
This president's failed.
It's about the future of this country.
We're going to take it back. We're going to take it back.
You asked us to vote you into that position so you can bring about that
solution.
So when you vote me, then you sleep. Let me see if I can take another phone call. Hello, Today 95.1 FM. Good morning.
What makes a policeman to be able to feed is the gun he's holding. They use their gun to extort money from people.
Good morning. What's your name and where are you calling from?
No longer news that we are truly the voice of the people.
Am I not a slave in Nigeria?
I refuse if you're
slave. Let's not do that now. So the Nigerian Constitution is philosophizing.
You spot the difference now?
iPrep in action on Today FM.
This program is designed to educate the people and give detailed progress reports on the Ogoni cleanup project.
The show will also feature high-profile interviews and discussions with relevant stakeholders on the cleanup exercise. We shall be presented with weekly updates and discussions on burning issues on the cleanup exercise.
Tune in every Friday from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. to get all the information about the Ogoni cleanup project. High Prep, remediating the environment and restoring livelihoods.
iPrep in action on Today FM.
This program is designed to educate the people and give detailed progress reports on the Ogoni cleanup project.
The show will also feature high-profile interviews and discussions with relevant stakeholders on the cleanup exercise. We shall be presented with weekly updates and discussions on burning issues on the cleanup exercise.
Tune in every Friday from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. to get all the information about the Ogoni cleanup
project.
High
HyPrep, remediating the environment and restoring livelihoods.
You're listening to High Prep in Action on Today FM.
A warm welcome to another edition of High Prep in Action on Today FM. This program is brought to you courtesy the Hydrocarbon Pollution Remediation Project, HyPrep. I am Uwikiwari Priye Izogo. I'll be your weekly guide to bring you the latest in the Ogoni cleanup exercise. Peace and joy to you and your family in this festive season.
You are listening to HyPrep in Action on Today 95.1 FM.
For a better understanding of the cleanup project in Ogoniland, which stands as our flagship program in the Niger Delta region, I need to tell you the core objectives of HyPrep under the Federal Ministry of Environment, led by Dr. Marvin Barinem Dekil. First is to determine the scope, means, and modalities of remediation of soil and groundwater contamination in all impacted communities. Secondly is to enhance local capacity for a better environmental management as well as ensure livelihood and sustainable development. Thirdly, ensure security and promote peace-building efforts in impacted communities. And finally, strengthen governance, transparency, and accountability in the region. Since the commencement of the Project Coordination Office of HyPrep in 2017, headed by Dr. Marvin Barinem Dekil, a renowned environmental scientist, he has remarkably embarked on accomplishing the goals set by HyPrep to achieve the recommendation of UNEP report published in 2011 and 2016. In 3 years, his remarkable leadership has executed several meaningful projects in remediation, water, health, job creation and training, sensitization, community engagement, quality control and certification, and the ongoing talks on the Center of Excellence at the Kensarowiwa Polytechnic. HyPrep, remediating the environment and restoring livelihoods.
This is Today 95.1 FM. To copy this tune, press 9.
This is Today 95.1 FM.
For current news and information, press 5.
They are politicians, all of them. They know what they do.
So they know how they attack each other.
To stay connected all day, press 1.
The person who raised the alarm is the one who made the public know about it.
Good afternoon and welcome to the World News on your Premium Talk Radio station.
We are your premium talk radio station, Today 95.1 FM, the station with a unique dial.
You are listening to HyPrep in Action on Today 95.1 FM.
In this week's edition, we have the Honorable Minister of Environment, Dr. Mohammed Mahmoud Abubakar, as he commissioned and handed over remediated sites in Eleme local government area being certified by NOSDRA. And also, the Honorable Minister having a roundtable with relevant stakeholders on a roadmap for a national mangrove restoration plan in the Niger Delta region. So I'll ask you to sit back, relax, enjoy. We'll be back in a bit. Stay tuned.
You're listening to High Prep in Action on Today FM.
Yesterday marked a historic day in the life of Ogoni Cleanup Project as the Honorable Minister of Environment, Dr. Mohammed Mahmoud Abubakar, and the Minister for State Environment, Chief Mrs. Sharon Ikiazo, were led by the project coordinator of HyPrep, Dr. Marvin Barinem Dekil, to the commissioning and handing over of completed remediation sites at Lots 2, 5, 6, and 8 in Eleme local government areas, amongst the 7 remediated lots across Ogoni land being certified by NOSDRA. Speaking to the Ogoni people at the ceremony, Dr. Mohammed Mahmoud Abubakar said a total of 208,300 meters of soil was treated from 7 lots using bioremediation option, a method that is environmentally friendly and effective in removing pollutants from the soil. Let's listen to the Honorable Minister.
To take a look at the project when we were first appointed as ministers. And at the time, I remember when the press asked me, what have I seen? What can I say? I said, really, I can't say good or bad. We have seen, we will go and analyze what we have seen, considering the time that the project has started. During my second coming, I was asked the same question, and I said, today I can tell you that we are not satisfied because there was a time lag. We are not where we are supposed to be because we should have cleaned these 21 sites, or at least a good number of them. That did not happen. Today, I'm back again, and I can say progress has been made. Still, the ministry will still yearn for more progress. We still want to push the project, but push carefully so that it's done and is done well. Hydrocarbon pollution is something you do not just want to clean haphazardly, but to make sure when it's clean, it is clean. Because these are chemicals that are bioaccumulated, meaning either when ingest or when they get through the skin, no matter how little, they remain, they don't go away. And when you get more in, they also accumulate. That is why it's called bioaccumulated. And when you get to a level that it can make you sick, then it makes you. So it's a project that we want to make sure is done and is done well. Today, by the grace of God, we are here to commission the cleanup of 7 sites. These sites are 1, Lot 2, 5, 6, and 7 in LMA local government area, Lot 10 in Gokana local government area, and Lot 17 and 18 in Thai local government area. A total of about 208,300 cubic meters of soil, sand was treated from 7 lots using bioremediation option, a method that is environmentally friendly and effective in removing pollutants. The Ogoni land cleanup today is the largest environmental remediation project going on in the world. The first to be carried out by any regime of government in Nigeria, taking into consideration the size, depth, scientific content, and input and magnitude of pollution. It is a project estimated to last between 25 and 30 years, with an active remediation phase of 5 years at a time. And now we're in the first phase of the project, about 2 years into this. All things being equal, we intend to meet the timeline, even though we had some lag time in the past. We will push, as I have said earlier, to make sure it's done. If we don't meet the timeline of 5 years, we will be okay with that, as long as we have done a good job. Youth from the communities are meaningfully engaged and are earning salary. About 582 community workers earn a living for that period of work. We're expecting an additional 800 youth to be engaged in the 2 batch, in which 36 contractors have been awarded contract and are now moving to site. The community workers on site added to the staff in the project coordination office. The project has created over 2,000 jobs for Ogoni youth. We are grateful to our dear President, His Excellency Muhammad Buhari, for summoning the political will to implement the UNEP report on the Ogoni environment. Many thought it was just a political ploy to garner votes in 2015 presidential election, but he proved them all wrong, as he kept his promise, he walked his talk, because he's a man of integrity. And on the 2nd of June 2016, he flagged off the cleanup of Ogoni land, and today we're handing over 7 of the 21. So the project has gone from a mere rhetorics to mirage to reality, and today we are doing the actuality. It's done and we are here, and the world will see what has been done. Contractors would have completed their work earlier, but for some reasons, yes, we have had this issue of slowdown. It may have included, among others, issues of communal and chieftaincy tussles, dispute over ownership of land, that was to be remediated, heavy rainfall, breakout of the corona, and to be fair to all of the above, also some issues with the project management team. As a project, we will need your support and cooperation to achieve the set goals, which goals are to be the benefit of Ogoni people. Specifically, we are appealing that host communities to our remediation site allow contractors to do their work without undue interference and extra burden on them. I'm glad the youth are here. And yes, the youth of LMA have exhibited qualities of cooperation to the project. I will implore on you to be good ambassadors and to employ other youths in other communities to do this. Protest and all this will not clean up Ogoni. The first beneficiaries of this cleanup will be the people of this place. And if it's not clean, the first sufferers will also be the people. But the president doesn't want that. That's why myself and the Minister of State, we are here today to not only commission, but to further call on your continuous support. While remediation is going on, we're also training 1,200 Ogoni women in alternative livelihood, in skills across agro-allied ventures being handled by UNITA, a United Nations agency for training and research. The first batch of 400 women from the 4 local government areas is already on. There was the commissioning also of the cassava processing factory in Korokotai, an initiative that was carried out in partnership with the Stakeholder Democracy Network, SDN, an International Institute for Tropical Agriculture in Oni. We assure the Ogoni people that we will sustain progress on the cleanup of impacted sites and all the other recommendations contained in the UNEP report. Not only there will be steady progress of work, but we will ensure that standard is attained even to the international best practices. Your Royal Highness, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure and honor to hand over these sites, 7 of them completed, to the Lord regulatory bodies for due diligence. We thank the host community and will continue to call on them to help protect and make sure this project is done and is done well. Finally, I can tell you, specifically Mr. President said, the best thing we can do for him, as this cleanup is one of his flagship project, legacy project, is to make sure that it's done and is done according to world standard. And ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you, myself, the Minister of State, the Federal Minister of Environment will do nothing short of that and beyond. Finally, the security agencies, I can see a lot of them here. They have spent the whole of today, even before our arrival since yesterday, going up and down in their boots, in their uniforms, in the hot sun, yet they have never relented. They are always there ahead of us.
The Minister for State for Environment in our part, Chief Mrs. Sharon Ikiazo, called for more community engagement with the people.
Part of the accomplishments of President Muhammadu Buhari. He made that promise when we were coming into government, and today we have seen 6 or 7 of the sites out of the 21 that was awarded in January being completed. The contractors have finished their work, but beyond the handover, further to this or in furtherance to this, there will be a certification of the sites. That certification, I mean the regulatory agencies like NOSTRA, who have taken samples from all these sites, will do the proper analysis and make sure that it is indeed up to international standards as said by my brother minister. We will make sure of that, to make sure that the UNEP report is achieved to the letter. We thank you for your patience and your support, most especially to the Rivers State Governor, Nyesom Wike. We thank you for your support. We will be collaborating with you every step of the way. The federal government belongs to every single Nigerian, irrespective of tribe or religion. Please understand that we are part of you, you are part of us, and we care for you, and we are in this journey together. You will protect your land. You will make sure your land is fruitful. If you don't do it with us, how can we achieve it? But what we are saying here today, you did it with us, did you not? So let us continue in that way. So we wait on NOSDRA to come up with the analysis of all the samples that's taken with the certification. Please let us all work together. And DG, or project coordinator, please let us have more community engagement, more town hall meetings, so we hear from our people and let our people hear us. So that if there's any complaints or any thank you that they want to say, we hear it directly from them. So we look forward to having more engagement with our people. This is my first visit, but this is the beginning of many more. So I urge all our people to be ready for us. We will be coming back a lot more. Today we are in Eleme. Tomorrow we'll go, next time we come, Gokana and Tai. We need to cover everywhere on foot. Let us see with our eyes and verify.
The ministers and their entourage were earlier received by the King of Eleme, His Royal Majesty, King Philip Osaro Obele, who said that the people of Eleme were satisfied with the cleanup project, that the minister should thank the President, Muhammadu Buhari, as he showered them with prayers.
The King has asked me to greet you and welcome you warmly to Eleme land. Honorable Minister of State, Honorable Minister, the King has asked me to thank you and to let you know that he is very pleased with the energy and charisma that you have brought into this project. The King has asked me to give you his unalloyed support, 110% support, to ensure that you do this wonderful job of alleviating, even though it cannot be done totally, the devastation that have been done to the land of Ogoni. He wants me to tell you that out of the 4 local governments, if he has his way, he will talk to his colleagues in the other local and brothers in the other local government. But for Eleme Kingdom, he is going to give you full support to do your work. He's pleased with the energy again that you have. And he has been told that you have the background. You are an environmentalist. He's very happy with that. And he said I should, he knows that you are on a working visit and you are going to the field. Let the land of Eleme bless you to the site where you're going to visit, and bless you and your team back to Abuja. Whatever you are doing on this project, know that himself and the entire people of Eleme Kingdom are behind you. We're going to support you 110%. Thank you for coming.
The Honorable Minister thanked traditional rulers in Eleme and other Ogoni local government areas for their support for the cleanup projects in Ogoni land.
We are here today on a working visit. But before then, let me remind you that this is actually my 3rd time coming, but my 2nd time coming to the palace. Let me start by thanking you, first of all, for the cooperation that you have been given to the project coordinator and the project itself. This is one of the cardinal projects of this administration. The first time I came, we went round and inspected. The 2nd time I came, I said what we saw the first time was not quite where we want to be as far as the progress of the project is concerned. But today, I can tell you that we have made progress to the point that we are going to be commissioning the compilation of 6 to 7 of the sites that were being remediated. It's quite a significant progress, but not enough for us at the ministry, because we want to make sure this project, even though a little behind schedule, we move it fast enough, but carefully enough to make sure a good job is done. And based on that, we have undertaken some restructuring of the project. I'm sure you may not be aware that we have disengaged 3 consultants that we feel we need to replace and bring some that will do a better job. We thank them for what they have done. But Mr. President is particularly interested in making sure that this project is done and is done well. And that is what we are going to do. We still need your help, your cooperation, and the cooperation of your people. Because until we have their buy-in, until we have their support and cooperation, it may be extremely difficult to do the good job that we want to do here. So here I am calling on the youth. From the beginning till today, we are always taking the youth and the women along. We make sure we create good enough jobs, but not to the detriment of the project, because completing the project itself will create more jobs. Particularly when this project was conceived, a livelihood project was also conceived under it. One, you get people that will have employment under the actual remediation work, and then we have training program, that is the livelihood, where both young men and women will be trained in different kinds of skills, some of which are agriculture, aquaculture, poultry, welding, and the rest of them is embedded in the program. That too, I must admit, we are a little behind because it should have been really up and going. But however, we are moving. In addition to that, there is also construction of water. So you see, this is really a comprehensive it's just not just the clean up. Well, we know there are a lot of things that the people need. So water rehabilitation and new construction also is ongoing. Currently, we have 6 water projects that are about to be awarded in 4 of these local government, Kana, Gokana, Eleme, and Tai. So this is a project that the government is very serious about. It's one of the projects we call legacy project. And we believe what is worth doing is worth doing well. And that's why we are here today to tell you where we are and to commission those 6 sites that were completed. And we are pushing, again, like I said, but carefully to make sure that other sites that are being worked on are also remediated and completed immediately, because there are still other areas of the Niger Delta to be cleaned up.
On his part, the project coordinator, Dr. Marvin Barinem Dekil, appreciated the effort of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Muhammadu Buhari, for the political will to commence the largest remediation project in the world and the first in the history of Nigeria.
It is a great honor for me to speak here today. First, I want to appreciate God for making today a reality. And what is today? Today is the day where we have just completed 7 of the lots that were awarded. So we have 7 lots completed, 4 of which are in this location. The other 4 are in the other 3 local governments. So we thank God for this day. The work since progressed, and it is on record, according to the United Nations, that this is the largest environmental cleanup currently going on in the world by any government. Again, this is the first project by any government in Nigeria to address the cleanup of the Niger Delta. And starting from Ogoniland, again, we want to give all of this, we want to appreciate the support of the minister, during which we have recorded a few period. We did additional handing over 36 sites. Work has begun on some of those as we've completed some of the sites. We have also, during this period, commenced a top 400 of which are currently just being trained by UNITA. We have also done a whole lot in terms of capacity development. If you look around the site, the people working, they are organic indigenous scientists, top world-class scientists we train with the United Nations, both in Nigeria and in Switzerland. So today is a great day for us, and I want to use this opportunity again to thank the Honorable Minister of State, for the support and the encouragement they have given to the project.
Also speaking at the ceremony was the chairman of Eleme local government area, Honorable Barrister Philip Okwaraji, who talked about the support, organization, and discipline of Eleme youth during the cleanup process. He also assured of continuous partnership with the project to ensure its success.
I want to thank the federal government and the state government for their support for the early completion of the cleanup exercise today. And let me say it, Honorable Minister, without the youth of Eleme you are seeing seated here, this project could not have been completed. The youth of Eleme you are seeing here are very, very peaceful, very humble, and very respectful. In fact, when it came to our notice that some people want to come and disrupt this one today, we were ready for them, but we never saw anybody. So we want to say thank you. You came, and what we're seeing is very, very a peaceful environment. I want to equally thank the security agencies for their support. The Eleme people want to thank you. And as you hand over this site, I think think the cleanup from the UNEP report is to restore the environment back so that the farmers can actually have a yielded fruit on the land.
Let's go for a quick break. When we return, the federal government under the Ministry of Environment has set up a blueprint for the restoration of the mangrove across the Niger Delta. Stay tuned.
iPrep in action on Today FM.
This program is designed to educate the people and give detailed progress reports on the Ogoni cleanup project.
The show will also feature high-profile interviews and discussions with relevant stakeholders on the cleanup exercise. We shall be presented with weekly updates and discussions on burning issues on the cleanup exercise.
Tune in every Friday from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. to get all the information about the Ogoni cleanup project. HyPrep, remediating the environment and restoring livelihoods.
You are listening to iPrep in action on Today 95.1 FM.
Welcome back. It's still HyPrep in action on Today FM. The Minister of Environment, Muhammad Mahmoud Abubakar, has said plans are on the way to come up with a blueprint on how to restore the mangrove across the country, especially in the Niger Delta region. Speaking during a stakeholders meeting with HyPrep and other major stakeholders in River State, the minister expressed worries about how such areas are being decimated by people and polluted by oil-related activities. Abubakar said disruption of mangroves, which provide topography and geology of an area, could bring about a lot of catastrophic issues to the environment, adding that ways were being sought on how to prevent such oil-related activities and restore the mangroves, as well as have a collaborative effort that will continue to support the growth of the mangrove.
We had a meeting with a group of professionals, academicians, non-governmental organizations, civil society organizations, solely for the purpose of restoring mangroves in the Niger Delta, preservation and conservation. Mangroves are sensitive plants that provide support for aquatic life, that provide topography, are involved in hydrogeology of an area, and support also the chemistry of the brackish water, that salt water of that area. They bring about balance. Unfortunately, these special and sensitive plants are being decimated by people, but most importantly by pollution from oil spills, from artisanal refining, and so many other ways. Logging by people for firewood. The disruption of this special plant and the ecology they support can bring a lot of catastrophic issues to the environment. And so the meeting today is to find ways that we can prevent, one, the pollution, two, restore the mangroves, three, preserve and have a collaborative effort to also form some kind of research that will continue to support the growth and preservation of this. In the end, what we resolve is to have some kind of terms of reference whereby the Ministry of Environment and these professionals and academicians will collaborate and come up with a blueprint of how we can save the mangroves, especially in the Niger Delta area, and subsequently also have a kind of marine protected area for this special plant species. And we expect to get going in the next couple of weeks after the production of the terms of reference. But most importantly, this is something that will be in the long haul, but starting with short-term, medium-term, and long-term solutions. Right now, as we said, get the low-hanging fruit. We are focused on starting quickly with the short-term, and that will involve also educating the public, thinking of ways of bringing alternatives, how people can now stay away from the mangroves instead of using them for firewood or doing anything that will decimate this population. Of course, the oil pollution is something that is a lot more critical, which we will be taking seriously and deal with all the areas that need to be dealt with to get the oil pollution to stop, because that is really the greatest threat. If we don't stop the oil pollution, which is the one stifling the life out of these plants, then whatever we're going to do will end up being, it's not going to really support the progress that we'll make. So we have to take care of that, along with many other issues that the mangroves are being faced with. So this is basically what we have discussed this evening. Whatever we do here, even the cleanup of Ogoni, we are dealing with the locals. The locals, not only we must involve them to have a buy-in, but they are also a tremendous source of knowledge. They have first-hand knowledge of these mangroves, more than even us. So we can tap that local knowledge, put it together with the scientific knowledge, and I'm sure we can have something very formidable. So yes, we'll be involving the community every step of the way. They will be with the mangroves all the time. We will come in, do some work and leave, but they will live with them. Unless they buy in, we will come, finish our whatever, go, and the next thing is they can go and cut those mangroves. So we will be involving the community every step of the way. We will be bringing out terms of reference which will delineate, but wherever the mangroves are in the community, we are interested, because we are talking about the mangrove, the special species of that mangrove, and the starting day, time, whatever, and it's all coming very soon. The ministry will communicate back to the team that we have just sat with this evening. For the entire Niger Delta, the mangroves, wherever they are just as special as they are here. Even in areas where there is no hydrocarbon pollution, we will have to make sure we maintain the integrity of the mangroves. And that is why we'll even have, again, part of this whole thing we're doing is the preservation. So where everything is fine, then we take preventive measures. We preserve and make sure. And it's not just oil pollution that is really causing problem. Like we said, even logging, people just cutting the mangroves is something. So it's something that we want to do holistic. But right now, you stop the bleeding. This is where the biggest threat is. So you start with where the threat is. When you come and you find people in accident, the first thing is stop the bleeding so that the person can survive, and then you can give the treatment. So right now, we want to start with where the biggest threat is, which is around the oil pollution area.
On her part, the Minister for State for Environment, Chief Mrs. Sharon Ikiazo, assured that the environment, in collaboration with stakeholders like HYPREP and civil societies, will ensure that mangroves are restored to provide jobs and livelihoods for the people.
From all that you've seen here today, with the ministry having this meeting with stakeholders, the ministry, that's in other words, the federal government of Nigeria, is planning a national mangrove restoration plan. I hear you asking when. This is just the beginning of the process. Researchers are here, academia are here, Forest Research Institute is here, IITA Research Institute is here, and civil society. Nigeria has a coastline, 11,700 square meters, from Badagry to Bakassi. But our concentration is the Niger Delta, because that's the most impacted. The importance of the mangrove, it protects our coastline from erosion. It will also provide livelihood for our people. The ministry has come up with National Forestry Plan that was approved by FEC. This is to protect our forest cover. The mangrove is part of the forest cover in our biodiversity. So this is the beginning of the lot. And this mangrove restoration plan will also help in providing jobs and livelihood for our people, most especially the men and the women. As HYPREP is cleaning up, under the UNEP report, there's a mangrove restoration component. So that is why the Honorable Minister and I are starting with the Niger Delta that needs it the most. When we finish with the Niger Delta, we will now have marine protected areas for the coastal line of Nigeria to protect our biodiversity across the coastal line, which is just mainly the mangrove forest cover.
And that is the size of this week's edition of HYPREP in Action on Today FM. For questions, inquiries, and more information, visit our website www.hyprep.gov.ng, and you can follow us on all social media platforms at HYPREP Nigeria to track on all our activities. HYPREP, remediating the environment and restoring livelihoods. Keep listening to your premium talk news and sports station. Today, 95.1 FM, the voice of the people. I am Owekiwari Priye Izogo. We'll be back same time next week. Stay safe.
Talk radio. I listen to a lot of talk radio.
95.1 FM. Friday, ni boloda, la just Saturday, yeah. One Shabbat in here, lo que sono, l'encolea malatia. Calada, costume lawo. C'est la fille bonne soki, but I meet you ready.